Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry I am late. Had a couple things I needed to take care of. Um, oh, Interesting. Anyways, we're gonna jump back into Kerbal today. On a plus side, excuse me, I'm having a little bit of indigestion or something. So not sitting not sitting well. I need to turn down my phone too. One sec. There we go. All right. On the plus side, I had mentioned last night during my stream that kids keep telling me to take notes and, to kind of help remind myself where I'm at on any given game since I'm not playing the same game day to day to day to day. And I did that last night with the Planet Crafter. Kind of gave myself a signpost, more or less, to tell me when I come back to it next week what I need to be working on. So I plan to do the same thing with Kerbal when we get done tonight. But we're going to resume saved, the only one we've got up here, and let's figure out. I guess first check should be the mission control. See what kind of missions we've got. We have available active. Explore the moon. So apparently we hit orbit. That's good. Science data from space around Kerbin. Position satellite in a polar orbit of Kerbin. We might do that one and that one in one go. And probably that one as well. I might be getting a little ambitious here. But those three things, so science data from space around Kerbin, that means get above 70 kilometers, right? 70,000 meters is space in Kerbal Space Program, and Kerbin is the planet that all the Kerbals live on. The star system that Kerbin orbits is the Kerbol, or it's called Kerbol, Kerbol, Kerbol. And whereas the Kerbols who live on the planet Kerbin are spelled Kerbal. But anyways, to science data from space around Kerbin, we just got to get up above the atmosphere. Above 70 kilometers, that's the official threshold for space in this game. Getting into a polar orbit is a little bit trickier. We'll have to look at that and see if it is kind of if we use the Kerbal Space Center as a kind of a guide. If you're looking at it from the planet side, or from an orbital view. So here's Kerbal Space Center. So you wonder, and it looks like that's probably it, which means that I want to be the planet goes this way. So if I wait until the planet rotates around here to the day side, in fact, dawn looks like kind of maybe where I might want to be launching. And I just launch south. I should get pretty close to that. Boy, that's almost out at the moon's orbit. I wonder if the moon's gravity field will affect that orbital path. Anyways, so if we wait till morning, which means we need to get in and get a ship built pretty quick because there's only 6-hour days in this game. We're 2 hours into day one, or into the current day. But as we come around, it looks like we might actually, so planet spins this way. We come around to Morningside, and we can just launch south and get somewhat close to that path. And it'll take a lot less delta V to launch along that path. than it would to try to, launch, get out to space out here, and then try to reorient that path to a polar orbit in that orientation. So with that, we have to build a satellite. And then in order to deploy said satellite, we need to decouple it from our rocket, right? So, but that might be a little tricky. Decoupler orbiting Kerbin, 120 to 130 kilometers. And this needs to be at 10 million meters, so 10,000 kilometers, right? That's a long way up, which means that the satellite itself would have to have its own thruster and fuel tank to achieve that after decoupling. But maybe not. Maybe we build the satellite and it's got its own little rocket to push us anywhere outside of this window, but that part is what we'll decouple in that 120 to 130 kilometer range. And that'll get us a nice chunk of change. So you got 83,000 there. Well, I already got that, so I'll get the 62,000 there for that, and then I'll get another 18 for that, right? And then this one, I'll get another 92 for that. So that's what, 100 and 110 between that one and that one. And then this one was another 60. So 170, say 170, almost 175,000 Kerbal bucks. That'd be nice. That'd be really, really nice. I need the money right now. Plus 8 science there. 3 science there. No science for that one. That's okay. I mean, yes, we want science. Science is the name of the game here. But let us hop in here and try to get us a rocket that will get us a satellite to where we need it. So for a satellite, first thing we need is probably a probe core, which means we may not even send a Kerbal up with this. So let's look at that. Do we even have a probe core? I don't think we have a probe core this early on. Oh, we do. We got the Probodobodyne Octo. Probodobodyne. Try saying that 3 times fast. So we'll get maybe our cargo bay, and we'll put inside said cargo bay the Probodobodyne. You open up for me. And probably, well, what does our satellite have to have on it? Unmanned probe that has an antenna and can generate power. Probe must be fully assembled when launched. So an antenna and solar power. And if we're doing solar power, then we probably want to put some batteries on here. One's probably enough. Whoop, don't do that. Close. No, close. And then we need to get this puppy, which is essentially our satellite. In fact, we could even maybe take and go like, oh, maybe not. Maybe on this side. Yeah. We could put some solar panels on here. We've got a mirrored radial symmetry here, right? And then on top of that, we can probably put a nose cone. And that's pretty much our satellite. Oh yeah, we need an antenna. Let's see, open communication, maybe this one? the symmetry. No, but we want you the other way. Not like that. Not like, well, maybe like that, actually. And then, no. Like that. So would it deploy? That's not gonna work. Alright. We'll slap you on the side here for now. Close this puppy back up. No, it's not how you're supposed to go. No, quit it. There we go. Alright, turn the symmetry back off, and now we need to get this puppy up into space. So this is going to have kind of its own fuel supply. Probably not too terribly much. If we go with the right engine here, which is going to be the Terrier. It's the most fuel efficient engine that we have. And that is going to be our satellite. Doesn't look like much. And it really isn't much. But we have to get this puppy up to 10,000 kilometers. So, with that said, actually, we might do another fuel tank here because no, you there, you go there, you go there, you go. Double that fuel tank, and then we'll put that decoupler on there, the TD12. That's the one that we have to test, right? So we should have enough fuel there to get us maybe from the 125-ish kilometers to the 10,000 kilometers. Sounds like a lot, right? But most of our fuel we're going to burn up before we ever get to space. Vast majority of it is all going to be gone before we ever leave the atmosphere. And it's going to be a lot of fuel, right? So this puppy, we have to get a thrust to weight ratio. You don't, well, I guess you do belong there. This stage at sea level, this only has 0.5 basically thrust to weight ratio, meaning that it only generates half the thrust that it needs to lift this weight off of the ground. We're going to do something about that. We're going to take this puppy, and under that decoupler there, we're going to throw us some more rocket fuel, and probably some more rocket fuel. Come on. And maybe a little bit more rocket fuel. And under that, we're going to throw one of these here swivel engines and see if we get enough thrust out of that. We've got between them a little over 3,000 delta V. Got enough thrust to get off the ground. Do we have enough thrust to throw some more fuel on there? If I put another one of those, didn't give us much delta V. It was enough thrust, but it's really, really tight there. Pretty sure I don't want to do that. Maybe we'll do that, and we now look at 30, basically 3,200, and we're at 1.16. That is enough to get us off of the ground. As long as that number is greater than 1, that TWR, thrust to weight ratio, as long as that number is greater than 1, you will have liftoff. Now, what happens beyond that is entirely subject to the, maybe not that one. We'll do this one. And we'll do triple symmetry. And maybe, just to make sure, I'm probably way over engineering this, but we're gonna throw some big rockets on the side of this puppy. You go that big? Man, it's pretty big. Scoot them down a little bit. I want them kind of about the same spot as... Yeah, that looks good. Then I'll get another one of these, put it on there. Alright, so these three puppies, you got a thrust to weight of 2.02. Okay, so as we sit right now, we got a little over 4,000 meters per second of delta V. And that delta V, I think I might have explained it before, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to go ahead and explain it again. Delta V is your change in motion, essentially. This is change in velocity. Delta is the change in something. V is velocity. This is a change in velocity, so we can change our velocity by 4,300 meters per second. These three engines alone, just the solid rocket boosters, cover a little over about a third of that, with almost 1,200 meters per second. So I'm thinking that they have plenty of thrust, plenty of delta V, that I don't even need this engine at launch. So I'm going to reserve that engine until these puppies have pretty much burned out. In fact, as I've got it set up here, they will burn out, and then I will jettison them and launch fire up this engine at the same time. So when we launch, we'll launch with the three solids. We'll jettison those and kick up that swivel engine, right? And then once this fuel tank is burned dry, we'll jettison that. Hopefully somewhere around 130 kilometers. Fingers crossed. And so when we jettison that, hopefully that will accomplish the decoupler mission there. We'll grab a little bit of science while we're up there. No, we won't, because we don't have any kind of science equipment on this. Alright, maybe. We'll have to transmit, right? Transmit or recover, yes. So maybe we can do something simple here. Take science and we'll throw that. So it doesn't have to be something that we've done before. Or I mean, it doesn't have to be something that we haven't done before. It can be anything. Oops. Alright, and there we have it. This is going to be our first satellite around Kerbin. We'll call this ComSat-1. It's a communication satellite. It's got an antenna, right? And we'll launch. Oh, right. We need to go to the tracking station real quick. And we need to fast forward time to sunrise. Okay. Maybe here. Fast forward time. Yes. Warp to sunrise. Alright, we're going to fly the rocket. And remember, we want to kind of, when we launch here, we want to be traveling south. Oh, that's some wobble. This could get hairy. Because those thrusters, those solid rocket boosters, they put off a pretty good deal of thrust. And so this could get kind of wonky. So anyways, we want to go south, which is going to be up on our nav ball. 180 degrees, that's due south. SAS on. Thrusters to max. And ready, set, go. Oh, good. So, one of the things... Uh-oh. We're getting a lean. Why are we getting a lean? Stop leaning. Don't do that. One of the things about putting triple symmetry on, I've seen it the worst with triple symmetry on the solid rocket boosters, is that they generate this torque on your rocket that has it rolling through the launch. Alright, we're about out of solid rockets. And we go. And this will give us a little bit more control. Nope. I just screwed the pooch. Oh, did he save it? I think he saved it. Went way too hard, way too fast. We're at 22 kilometers, so actually it's not that bad. We're out of the thickest part of the atmosphere. But I really need to get that prograde marker moving down here towards the south. I want it kind of literally right on the 180 at the horizon there. So I'm going to try and pull it more to the west here. Almost there. Come on. Keep her coming. Right. Okay. So now we just pull it straight down that line, and we are traveling on a southern trajectory. Should probably look at our altitude here. Alright, so we're at almost at the bottom edge of where we need to be here. So when you're trying to orbit a planet, it turns out it's a lot easier to get up really high before you start pushing sideways. Because the higher up you are, the less work that you actually have to do to push this down. So it's always good to get a pretty decent vertical launch, but you also want to kind of start pushing over and do a gravity turn somewhere in that launch so that it gets you that kind of an arc that pushes you further and further around the planet. Because once that line snaps to about here, or stretches to about there, it's just going to snap. And it'll close, because we'll be falling, but we'll keep missing the planet. And that's what orbit is. So we're about a minute from our apoapsis. And I would really like to stay moving prograde as we get close to it, because prograde is how we're going to be kind of pushing, I guess. But you know, the idea is to get our periapsis up into this kind of same threshold here, and hopefully before we run out of fuel in this stage with the swivel engine that we've got here. So here, probably about 10 seconds or so, we'll fire up that swivel engine and try to get into an actual relatively stable orbit around 125,000 meters. So let's hit that. Now if you look, watch how fast our periapsis is coming up in relation to our apoapsis. So our apoapsis is still climbing because we're still one side of it. Might slow down a bit here. We're 7 seconds, 6 seconds, and they're really, really long seconds because I'm accelerating. And the idea here is as we cross that 0 mark, 0 seconds. Oh, we're getting further away from it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's 0. We'll get all the way across. Hopefully we got enough fuel to get us orbital here, and we do. Alright, so we're in the threshold where we need to test out the decoupler. We're almost out of fuel. Let's make sure we're kind of on the right path here. Looks like we're wonked a little bit, but that's okay. We can work with that. So now what we want to do is we want to get back around to our periapsis here, which is actually kind of where we're at. So we might as well just do it. And push our apo up as high as we can get, or as close as we can get to we're on to our last stage here. So hopefully we got enough out of this to get up to the proper altitude, which it'll grow pretty quick the further we get from Kerbin's sphere of influence. We want our apo no higher than 10,333. So as we get up, maybe a little bit more. We'll stop about 10.2, I think, or 10.3. And then once we get up there, then we'll grow the periapsis out and try to get us a stable orbit that is between 10 million and 9 million meters above the surface here. And then once we get up there, we just use these descending and ascending nodes to correct our alignment so that we're on the same plane, and that will be mission complete. So we're traveling this way, which means by the time that this all gets out to the right altitude, we'll be traveling essentially along that same rotational path. But we gotta wait till we get up here, and then once we get up here, we can grow this out, and we want that somewhere around 9 million kilometers, or 9 million meters, right about there. What do we need? 9094. So that's a good stopping point right there. So now, because I set that as a maneuver, it actually tells us exactly how much delta V we need, how long it's going to be before we get to where we want to make that maneuver, how long we have to burn the fuel for, and that should get us pretty much along that dotted kind of beige path there. So we're going to go ahead and we'll do a quick save real quick, and then we're going to warp up to the apoapsis there. And then once we get there, we're going to have to kind of shift our orientation because we're going the wrong direction when we get over there. Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. So getting close, getting real close, and once we get over here, we want it to reorient to face prograde because we're still whoop, 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 whoop. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Come back, come back, come back, come back. All right. So right about there, and we want to start that burn timer or that burn about halfway through the total time. So it says we have a 14-second burn time. So when we're about 7 seconds from the node, so we want to split that 14 seconds on either side of that maneuver node. So 7 seconds on either side. So when this timer here gets down to about 7 seconds, we'll fire up the engines, and you'll notice that about the time that runs out, or this runs out, and that green bar runs out, and that runs out, we will be, there's our 7 second mark. We should be pretty much right here at this line. And stop. A little bit further, but that's okay. So we can get rid of you. We can get rid of you. All right, Perry's at 9:330, and it needs to be at 9:094. So we might actually already kind of be in the marginal error that you're allowed here. It looks like, see, we're coming up on the descending node, so kind of want to, it gets easier later on in the game because it unlocks a certain point, but you kind of want to set a maneuver here, and you want to burn radial or anti-radial. In this case, we're going down, descending, so we want to burn radial, and that should twist the alignment of our orbit to kind of match the orbit of the satellite, and then we can kind of tweak some of the other things here to keep that more or less the size and place that we want it. Nope, that's the wrong way. Okay, we're getting closer. We want to get this line here to capture or to kind of trace that line. So that was this away. Oop, we're getting there. We're getting there, and we'll burn some more normal. Okay, so we're almost aligned, And we gotta tweak our speeds a little bit. We might actually have to do this in a couple different burns here, so maybe we'll just cancel. And kind of right there where those two lines cross is where you want to put this maneuver. We want, again, to do that. That'll get us kind of in the right direction here. Maybe slow down a bit. So yeah, I think we'll take a couple passes at this. We're 5 hours from our node here, so we're going to go ahead and do another quick save. We're going to rotate ourselves to point at that maneuver target, which is that little blue cross right there. All right, line up on it. And we're going to do that save one more time, and we're going to warp to just this side of that maneuver node. And as long as we're pointing at the target, then we will be pointing in the right direction and don't have to make much in the way of corrections when we actually get to that node and need to fire up the engine. All right, We're almost there. We need 4 seconds on either side, so T-4 will fire up the engine and push our alignment off this direction a little bit. We're going to go from this path to this path. And once we get our orbit aligned properly, then we'll adjust the altitudes to get them to align also this way. Because we're definitely a little low on this end. And we'll hit the ascending node before we hit the peri-apse to push up our apoapse. There are about 10 seconds to go, not even. 4, 3, 2, 1, and fire. Alright, keep her going, keep her going, keep her going, keep her going, buddy. Push a little bit further. Bam! Look at that. You don't get much more lined up than that. Alright, so now we have another problem. We are getting an encounter with the moon here. So, let's see. We look at our path needs to grow. No, needs to shrink. No, don't do that. Oh, wrong button. So we want to slow down our path here because we don't want to intersect with the moon. We really don't. I mean, it'd be nice to get that flyby, but that is not our mission objective at this point. So let's line up on retrograde and try to get a better angle here. Alright, that's better. Better. And you are good, right? What did that do to our... Tweaked it a little bit, so if we burn anti-normal, because that was, or is opposite the direction that we were just cooking. We burn anti-normal here. I think that's the right one. Should push that back just a little bit. Yeah. Straighten it out, straighten it out. A little bit more. And stop. Pretty dang good, pretty dang good. Okay. Next, I think if we burn, see, I'm traveling that way, so if I burn normal, which is the blue circle, it basically points you directly away from the surface of the planet. If I burn normal here, I think it will kind of shift that entire orbit this way. But I don't really want to do that, do I? No. What I want to do is I want to burn right about here, and we're going to burn prograde, and just a little bit more, and that, my friends, is pretty dang good. Bring it back just a hair, get that apo to line, oops, not that much, line up with the other one. We should be pretty dead on. We're still misaligned, but like barely. So those nodes I don't think would be there if we weren't perfectly aligned, but it still registers as a difference of 0 degrees between our path and that path. So that will definitely be within nominal deviation. But now we gotta wait till we travel all the way back around to the planet to execute this burn, but we'll point right at our target marker We're going to burn a whole whopping 22 meters per second. We still have 22, almost 2,300 meters per second, but that's okay. While we're out here, though, probably not a bad idea to get our antenna out. That should help with our communication. Yeah, that was a red line before. It was barely reaching, which would have been really bad because this is a probe, and if you don't have communication between the planet and the probe ceases to function, and you can't control it anymore. But we're gonna, excuse me, we're gonna quick save. You always want to quick save before you warp because things can go weird. I'm gonna go all the way around the planet here, and we need a whole whopping 0.8 seconds. So that's literally, I'm gonna fire it and shut it off. And that should complete the mission for us. So I'll do that right at 0 seconds. I might actually go ahead and just speed up time a little bit here. Actually, I might just kind of slowly throttle up here, make it happen gradually, rather than... Alright, we've achieved nominal deviation, so we should actually get our next mission complete here in about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, there it is. Bam. So, 2 missions down. We've got our orbital decouple with the TD12 decoupler, and we have now positioned a satellite in polar orbit of our planet. So we're done. Let's go back to the Space Center. This is probably going to be a bit of a shorter stream tonight. I might go for maybe another hour or so. Real life is it's challenging me this week. Oh, 62,000 for that, plus a little bit of science, a fair bit of reputation. But in this one, it's like points in whose line. It doesn't matter. World's first milestone, accomplishments for speed record, 2,500 meters per second. Really? Just now? 9,600 for that. Another science, couple more rep. Again, don't care about the rep. And successfully deployed our satellite into polar orbit around Kerbin. Completion rewards 92,230. So we've got a fair bit of money going there. We need to get a fair bit more. So what do we got? Active, we've got that, which we couldn't do. Oh, actually, we can do that right now. We'll go back to the tracking station. We'll find said satellite, and we're going to fly. And we're going to open up the cargo bay. And we're going to grab that thermometer. And we're going to log the temperature. Look at that, we even got science for that. Space high over Kerbin. Really? I could have brought more up here. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. So here's the thing. Recovering the data, you get the full point allowance that you can have for what you have. When you transmit it, you don't get all of it. You only get, in this case, 70%. We get a 40% boost from having our antenna, which brings us to 70%. So if we didn't have that antenna, we may not even be able to submit this or transmit this. And we may not anyways, because keep, and we'll check this thing, require complete or allow partial. I think allow partial. Do you have it? Oh no, it's probably still there. Log temperature, cancel, review, transmit. Hey, got it all. Yay! Alright, and so that gave us another mission there, right? Go back to the Space Center. So we got the science thing out of the way too. It'll give us a little bit more. It was less than 10K for that one, but that's okay. So now we have active test heat shield 1.25, landed at Kerbin, so I could do that literally from the launch pad, collect us a little bit more science, well, I mean, you get to do a little bit of science with a little bit more money. The money's kind of what we're after right now, because we need to upgrade our complex a little bit. And then explore the moon. I think this one's just a flyby. Head to the moon, pass by it. Easy as pie. So for that, we get an advance of 44,000, and then we get paid. Oh. That says from the moon. Does that mean I have to actually land to collect said science? Ew. Anyways, there's another 128,000 there, plus the advance money that we get, or got, because at least we already got that money. But 128,000 for doing these two things. And I think the flyby is a primary objective, the science is a secondary, but I am not 100% sure on that. And I don't think I can do that science from orbit. So we may not be ready for that just yet. So let's go look and see what else we've got. Ferry, satellite in an equatorial orbit. Inclination 0 degrees, periaps at 800,000, APO at 1.5 million meters, RE minute periaps at 179.4. Build a new unmanned probe, antenna, generate power. It's kind of the same thing we just did, except it's an equatorial. We might just call this, relaunch the same one. Ooh. Let's see. At the launch site, That one I can do at the launch site. So those are easy money. Accept. I think we're going to go ahead and accept that one as well. All right. So we're going to build us a rocket to complete those test ones. And that rocket's never going to leave the launch pad except to get hauled back and disassembled. So we're going to go ahead and do another probe core so we have something to hook all this stuff to. And under that we need a heat shield 1.25. And underneath that we need the Poodle engine. Poodle. Maybe we'll put that one on the bottom. We needed the Terrier also. Right? And then we get a decoupler on there. And then we'll throw this bad boy on there. That's everything we need for it, right? Heat shield landed at Kerbin, so we can do that first. Then we can test the terrier and just double check and make sure it is in fact the poodle. It is the poodle. All at the launch site and never have to leave the ground. You don't even have to load fuel on it. Alright, so first things first, the heat shield, which is that. No. That. Run test. Right? There's one. And then these others we just activate through the staging sequence. So, test, there's 2. And test one more, there's 3. And we are golden. There's some quick little money right there. We didn't get any science, that's okay. Actually, we got a little bit of science. We were only at 40 when we launched that. We got all our parts back, except for the poodle, which is probably still sitting on the launch pad. Or not. Two parts. No? Yeah. Edit. Oh no, that's the whole thing I just did. Okay, so it looks like it may have cleared the poodle off of there, which is what it is. Let's go ahead and clear this puppy out. So we're a little over 300,000 now. And what do you got for us now, Gene? Test the ant at the launch site. Bobcat in flight over Kerbin. You want me to be atmospheric? 30 to 35, 250 to 400 meters per second. Activate through the staging sequence. Yeah. Alright, well, let's go back in here. See if we can't load CompSat 1 back. Throw that whole thing away. Of course not. Of course not. Because I didn't save a copy. Alright, cool. No. Just cancel. Alright, so we just do the same thing. So put a probodobodyne on top of the probodobodobodobodyne. Well, around the probodobodobodobodyne. We'll put this thing. And then on top of that thing, we'll put one of these things. And then on the sides of that thing, we want to put 2 of these things. And 1 of these things. And inside that thing, we want 1 of these things. So this is essentially the same satellite that we put up there before. Put that on it. We're going to put that on it. And then we're going to put some more of those on it. Oh, no. Not like that. Not like that. Got to put one of these first. And then this. And then a whole bunch more of those. And then 1 of these. And then 3 of these. And then 3 of these. Probably there. And then 3 of these. 3 of these. Close this bad boy up. And I want to rock. We're ready to roll. Alright, so I guess kind of want to see what our orbit looks like. So we don't want to launch and then end up pointing the wrong direction. That would be humiliating. Hey, it's nighttime. What happened there? We're on... That's mission timer. No. Standard timer. Year 1, day 2, hours 13:42. What? Anyways. So it looks like we do want to be going the proper direction here. So we'll launch eastward. And we'll fix our staging here because we don't want that to screw up. So we'll launch eastward. And we're going to push. How close is the 15 or 1.5 million, 800,000? That is a weird elliptical orbit for a satellite. That's okay. That's okay. We're not judging. They're paying us money to do this. We're not going to judge. We're going to launch and we're going to head east. And actually, I think I might go ahead and move that down there because that gives me a little bit of gimbal control. Just gotta be careful not to use up all the... Uh-oh. What the... Was that necessary? I wonder. Oh, that was wonderful. Yeah. Return to vehicle assembly. We're going to do that again. And hopefully not blow it up this time. And we need to rename you. Sat. We're going to save ComSat. And then we're going to add the identifier 2 to it. Alright, now we're going to go launch again. I have a feeling we're going to be needing a few satellites as we progress through this a little bit. Alright, don't fall over. Why? Why are you... Oh. Let's go. Not exactly the way I wanted to do this. It's not going well already. Uh-oh. Yes, so might want to adjust maybe the height of those so that we're not sitting on the swivel. I think that's our stability issue here. Now I've got a wider base. I don't think I have struts, do I? I do not. Okay. Well, save you again and launch it. Third time's a charm. Alright. Oh, right, because I didn't do that. You go there. Stable. You good? Not tipping over? Alright, SAS on. A little bit of throttle control from that bad boy so that we can hopefully start at somewhat earlier gravity turn to the east instead to the east. Come on, push her over. Yeah, it's really hard when you got those SRBs screaming at you like that. Nope. I'm gonna go to 90 degrees here. Just slightly. Try to pull that prograde marker down a bit here. I'm gonna be traveling due east. We're gonna go right along the equator is the goal here. So we'll already be a little bit further north, I think, than what we should. Well, no. I think the Kerbal Space Center is like right on the equator. Oh boy. I think we're going too high. Oh no. We're gonna go to 1,000,000, right? So maybe we just push up real high. About half our fuel, which we've done. We'll get up to that. We'll get up to that 250 kilometers or so, and well, I think maybe we just keep pushing it up. Pushing it out. Maybe we just burn up all our fuel here. We'll move on to the next stage. We gotta get our Alpo kind of way up there, right? What is our actual apoapsis here? Not that high. What the hell? 1.5. We should have waited till we were opposite the apo to launch. And about 1.5 there, and a little over 800 there. We might go ahead and just travel up here. And push that out to kind of intersect there. And if we burn, oh, other way. And then maybe bring her down a bit. When we get to that point, hang on a sec. All right, back. So yeah, we'll get kind of right there. And once we get over here, then we'll bring this side back down to where it should be. We might actually burn this way just a hair. I think that's still good enough. Still good enough. So yeah, we'll just swing around to our target marker, which is there. It's kind of hidden. And with about 11 seconds left on our timer here, we will we'll burn and grow our periapsis up above into an orbital position and all the way up to the orbital altitude that we want to be at. In a little over a minute, or a little under a minute, we'll fire up the old engine. And I'm going to burn and push that line all the way out to here. There's about 11 seconds left on the clock. That's the goal here. Three, two, one, fire. Get line back up here. A little bit more controlled situation. And 0.8 meters per second variance, that is pretty damn good if you ask me. So cancel that. And once we get over to about here, we will slow things down a bit. What? Nope, you're going the wrong way. Slow things down a bit and get us into that perfect, maybe not that much, that perfect orbital path that will complete another satellite mission. We're a little over an hour away from that. There's a whole whopping 3-second burn, and we're already pretty much pointed in the right direction here. So we'll get lined up. And then quick save. We'll speed up time a little bit more here so we don't have to wait forever for that last minute to pass. 3, 2, 1, and go. And stop. Maintain for 10 seconds. We should be golden. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Some money, 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 money. And we're done. Oh, not quite. Now we're done. So now we have another communication satellite in orbit. In order to go back to the Space Center. What's this? Yeah. Recover. What was it? Service bay and the antenna. The probe core was gone. All right. What do we got? What do we got now? Ferry. Atmospheric surveys, observational surveys. Still haven't done that one. All right, so we might actually have to do some stuff here. There, we got the liquid ant. Yeah. All right. I guess we're going to the moon. We're going to attempt to go to the moon. We're not equipped to land on the moon, are we? Oh, so close. So I think I need 45. Yeah, 45. It gets me a struts, the launch stabilizers. Or reaction wheels and fins. Here. What I need is what? Landing. So that's where I get the better landing gear, or at least some of the better landing gear. These LT1 struts. Actually, I don't think I have any struts or landing gear available to me, do I? In any case, we got to get to the moon. So this no longer going to suit us. Mama, Curly, what are you doing? So that's not going to suit us. Do we have micro landing struts? So those are not ideal for landing on the moon. If I gotta, it's just not. But we gotta get there, right? So, doing the command pod, coming back from the moon, definitely need a heat shield. Definitely parachutes. Put some drogue chutes on it. Wow, we're way out here. Alright. Drogue chutes. Maybe we rotate you like that. And then some regular chutes. Alright, so we're gonna have to scoot you down even more. Dang it. There we go. Alright, so that's our command pod. And the command pod is going to need, we got our heat shields, we need to decouple it, separate it from the rest of the dead weight that's going to be traveling with it. And beneath that puppy, we need some fuel tanks. Maybe. No, we're not set up for it. We need to improve the launch pad, I think, to be able to. Well, maybe not. 140 tons, 255 parts. Actually, we could do this. Okay. Cool. So, with that said, I think I want underneath this bad boy. Those are actually some pretty powerful engines. What's their performance, I wonder? Yeah, I'm going to keep that. And, oh, but I don't have a fuel line yet, do I? So I can't do that either. It's not easy to land on that puppy. Maybe. No, pretty sure you have to be landing because there's no atmosphere. Oh my god. Alright, well, we're gonna make a flyby of the moon, I think. We're gonna try to do some science while we're there. So maybe we'll throw, how about a science junior on there. And a cargo pod. And then we'll put this back on there. And then here, we're gonna put some more science stuff. Okay. Alright, so that's going to get us to the moon. Actually, that's going to pretty much get us back from the moon. Now we got to get something that's going to get us there. So, first, we need fuel. And lots of fuel. Actually, that's probably about it for that bad boy, isn't it? So is there enough thrust to get me off of the ground with this? There is. But there's no vector control. So what if I swap that out for the swivel? Does the swivel have enough? It does. But there's not nearly enough here to get me to the moon and back. Right, so that means triple symmetry on these at least. And I'm thinking we might do something a little funky here. Gonna be not gonna be able to do those. Do double symmetry here. We're gonna take copy that and say roughly there. No. Get on there. That's more better. Alright, I'm gonna take these puppies. And we slide up, up. About there. We do the same thing here. And this is basically kind of an introduction to what they call asparagus staging. We're not exactly asparagus staging here because we're not able to pipe the fuel yet from these tanks to that tank. But this is kind of an intro to it. And then where's that fin? For you, my friend. Hey. For you, my friend, we will go with quadruple symmetry so that you part around those. But maybe, just maybe, we use these to give us that little bit extra push, right? You and you're all gonna fire together. Actually, maybe not. Let's see. Separate two of those out. Alright, so those two are going to burn first, so we want the two that separate those two, which looks like that one. Yes. So that, fire those, right? Those will fire, that separates off and lights those. And then those will separate off and ignite this. Whoops. What just happened? Where'd that go? No? You? Yeah, we don't want you to... No. We want you to light there. So, those two... Pops them off and lights those. Pops them off and lights that. Pops that off and lights that. And then we'll just put that up there with the parachutes. Alright, so they're a little over 4,500 Delta V. Hopefully that's enough to get us to the moon and back, because we are going to be piloting this puppy. Legitimate pilot of... Ooh, do we want to get Val back up there and get her the experience of going to the moon, or do we want to give Jeb another chance to maybe redeem himself? He didn't have a very good go the last round. Flight at Kerbal 1. Right. Orbit around Kerbal twice. She's actually tougher. G-forces, endurance 2.49x versus 2.16x. And Jeb's max sustainable G is 6.6 and Valentina's 6.9. She's actually tougher. And she's got more abilities at this point, so I think we're gonna go with Val. Val, have a seat. Alright. Moon, here we come. No, I didn't name it. Damn it. Alright, so for this, we still want to be launching in an eastward trajectory. Oh, but you do kind of need to fire with that to give me the gimbaling. Okay. Well. And that should actually make sure we have enough thrust to get off the ground, which we wouldn't have with just the two. Alright, so SAS on, throttle to max, and we are out here. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think this puppy's gonna make it to the moon. Burned almost half the fuel that I have in that first stage. I'm not even a kilometer up yet. Yeah, that was not a very good launch. I did not do that right at all. Maybe it'll work out. Yeah, make space at least. I use a little over a quarter of my fuel just to circularize the orbit here. be able to get orbital, I guess. So that's a plus. In fact, no, other side. Yeah. So we'll tip over to our target marker here. We still have a pretty decent burn to get up to the moon. So we'll do quick save. Fast forward to Apoapse. Circularize our orbit, and then we'll have to come back around to this side of the planet to get our trajectory for the moon. We have about 17 seconds here, so about a minute. We will fire up the engine and try to get our orbit circularized here. So put the moon, essentially, if you're looking at a compass, you put the moon kind of due north. And then when you do that, it tells you that you want to burn somewhere kind of around here where you get moonrise of the planet, or the moon over the planet here. And you burn prograde from that point. And it should... Get off my screen. Should get you an intercept with the moon, but you might have to shift it around just a little bit. I might be far enough out that yeah, see, there's my flyby. And that'll get me an intercept with the moon. If we're careful about it, we kind of get them to more or less coincide. So that as I come back around the moon there, that it'll just slingshot me right back into an orbit of the planet. So we'll get pointed in that direction. Quick save. And we'll warp to that point. So we'll burn for about 13.5 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and fire. Almost there. Gotcha. Just a little bit more. And So yeah, see, and then I'll have my intercept here. And then it should just slingshot me back around into orbit of the planet, at which point I can slow down and maybe I'll be able to slow down. And come home. Bring Val home nice and safe. Alright, 0.1 meter per second deviation. I am okay with that. As long as I'm not going to crash onto the moon. It might be actually good to look at. Oh yeah, no, plenty of space. 200 kilometers up. I can live with that. Alright, so I guess we will... No. Don't need that. Don't need that. We're gonna warp to the maneuver here, or warp to the sphere of influence. And we got the moon, should be coming up more or less behind us. No. Yes. There it is. So the moon's actually catching us up right now. Get rid of this stupid alarm clock. Delete and close, thank you. I didn't actually ask for that. Alright, so we haven't officially crossed into the sphere of influence of the moon just yet. We're almost there. Should be less than a minute. And once we get that notification that we've flown by the moon, but we may not actually. Well, it may say contract parameter complete though. All right. Contract parameter complete. Fly by the moon. So that means that we are in the moon's sphere of influence. Yes. Oh, we're actually coming. So the moon's gonna pass by us. So we're gonna get ejected there, which will put me there, which will already have me back on a path on the planet. Except I think that way. But we want to do some science. And keep open, do some science, keep some more science, keep. Oh, did I screwed up the barometers? Dang it. Okay, cool. We would like Miss Valentina to first and foremost take a crew report. Keep. We'll have Miss Valentina EVA. Let go. Turn on your jet pack. We'll come over here. Collect. select, and select. Why don't you go ahead and do me an EVA report while we're out here. Let's transmit that. See what happens. No usable range comms. Perfect. Alright, well. Oh, hey, some guy, what's up? Haven't seen the other streamers game, so I don't know if I need to or not to get the story, but I'm here now and I'm staying. I'll go back and watch the others at a later moment in time. So not really necessary if you're familiar with the game. I have actually not progressed very much in it. I'm just now getting to the point where I'm doing a flyby of the moon. So that's pretty early on. If you look at our map here, we're here at the moon. Our next stop is going to be Minmus, which is like the planet's second moon. And then beyond that, we have the entire Kerboler system here that we can explore. Most of these planets have moons that we can explore. There are lots of options for us in this. So we're really early on, and ultimately the goal is to actually get a good exploration of the entire Kerboler system here. And so yeah, I don't think that there is a whole lot of need to go back and watch the other ones unless you absolutely want to. Of course, I could always take the views. I'm never going to say no to views. And yeah, it's like I said, not necessary, but absolutely appreciate it if you would. And if you do, make sure you leave a like on it. Alright, so we're going to fast forward a little bit here, get us around the moon, get to our moon escape trajectory, which is going to be automatic, which should put us back on this path here. Let's see what happens. Speed up time. And we get to the moon escape. And we're now back into a Kerbal orbit, Kerbin orbit. And we need to actually pretty much go from here. And slow the whole mess down. And slow the whole mess down enough. Oh, it's going to be close. 533. We're still not into atmosphere down here. And we've got 724 altogether. It's going to be really close. 140 kilometers. We need to get below 70, and we don't have enough fuel for it. So maybe that's not our best option here. We might have to go ahead and oh boy, we might need to go ahead and slow down here. That'll bring our Perry back into atmosphere down here. But we are going to be screaming when we get there. Alright, so that's too much. Let's back that up a bit. It's going to be about 35,000 meters. It gives us enough atmosphere. Maybe we'll shoot for 30. That's too much. Gives us enough atmosphere to slow us down. Just hopefully we don't burn up on our way through it. And this will probably be the last mission for today. I've got to get some decent sleep in tonight. Yeah, no problem, some guy. We, like I said, I would definitely appreciate the views, but the game being what it is, yeah, you don't really have any real need to go back and watch the previous episode, or episodes, plural. I think it's just one. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and point this direction. Okay. Oh yeah, turned off SAS when you got out. Point at the target marker here, and we're a little bit away yet, but we're gonna go ahead and fast forward. I didn't quick save that time around. Well, that's a funky looking orbit thing. And that's what a slingshot maneuver will do. It actually gets you, it'll speed you up and kick you out even further and farther. You could do that over and over and over again and hardly use any fuel at all, and it'll keep pushing you out. But that's not what we want to do. We want to go home. We want to go home. We have to go to your home. So we're going to send Val on a ballistic trajectory back to Kerbin here and hope she doesn't explode on her way in. We're almost there. Close enough. And that should be good enough. We are, maybe we'll go a little bit further. There we go, about 30,000. And yeah, and we're going to be hauling A on our way down. So we're moving at 160 meters per second right now. We're going to quick save. And we're going to warp down to here. By the time we get down this far, we're going to be moving probably somewhere around 2,500 meters per second. And I'm not going to do anything to change that. No, not add maneuver. Dang it. Warp here. So you can look at my fuel down here. You can keep an eye on that. And these numbers here. If these numbers change, then you can tell that I'm burning fuel. I'm not going to burn any fuel, and this number here is going to pick up massively on our way back down. So yeah, we're at almost 2,000 meters per second here. That's almost 2 kilometers for every second. It might be a few streams on that, good some guy. But I think there might only be one for Kerbal. Yeah, see, we're picking up speed rapidly here. But we're going to get a little bit closer to home here. Maybe a little bit more. Alright, so now we're almost home. We're 150 kilometers up. We're going to go ahead and flip around to normal. We're basically normal. We're going to point directly away from the planet and jettison our fuel and engines. Then we're going to point retrograde. All of our chutes are armed and ready. Can't fire them again. We're moving 3 kilometers a second. Hopefully our heat shield will hold up here as we re-enter the atmosphere. Hopefully the heat shields will hold up and it won't burn Val up on our way down. As we're about to re-enter here. I think we'll probably start seeing heat effects off of that before we see heat effects off of this, because it's deeper into the atmosphere than we are by design. So it's starting to twist and tumble in the thickening atmosphere. Oh no, there's our heat effects. I don't see any down there. All right, oh, there it goes. Glad that didn't hit. Speed's going to start dropping pretty precipitously, pretty quick. We're going to watch Val's, excuse me, G-force exposure jump. 2 if we don't count this, and 3 if we do. Gotcha. Good to know. Yeah, see there, the speed's dropping off pretty quick. We're literally burning the speed up right now. Letting the thick atmospheric air. Where are you? Comsat 2. You're only a couple kilometers up. We're probably low enough that we can turn off SAS. And the pod will stabilize itself. Don't appear to be getting too much in the way of heat going here, coming off of the parachutes, so that's good. We are moving at a very fast clip right now. Still moving almost 2 kilometers every second, and that is through the atmosphere. Alright, 1,500 meters per second. I think we'll get down to about 1,000 meters per second, and we'll start seeing some of this heat effects start to dissipate. The re-entry heating is going to cool off. Alright. That I would call a mission success. Except we didn't complete the mission because we didn't land on the moon. We didn't land on the moon because we're not equipped for it. But we got a buttload of science out of this. Like a ton of it. Which will help me unlock parts, which will help me get the landing gear and stuff that I need to be able to land on the moon. So that hopefully next week when we come back, would have been 3 if you happen to stream last week, not counting this one, and 4 if we do happen to count this stream. Well, but I didn't stream last week because I was out of town. Well, I was in town but busy with family. And can't count something that doesn't exist. I mean, you can, but doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind. Alright, we're going to speed up time a little bit here, get down to about 1 kilometer. That should pop open the big chutes. It's a kilometer above ground, not above sea level. Uh-oh. Something broke. Oh, maybe not. Oh, right. The drogue chutes opened hard. We'll get down below a kilometer here, and the other ones will. Which should help me flip back over. Yeah. Alright. And then we'll take that all the way down to the ground. So science is basically for a tech tree. Yes, yes. I'll show you that real quick before I close out here. But yeah, all the science that you get, you unlock different parts for your rockets. That's the whole point of the science in the game. Do 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 do. And slow her down. Nice, soft little 4 meters per second thump. Now 4 meters per second. That's actually moving pretty good. A meter is a little over 3 feet. So you're moving about 13 feet per second. And that's not slow. It's not super fast, but it is not slow. So anyways, we'll recover the vessel here. Holy cow. There is 5 people here. Good eye, some guy. Unfortunately, we're about to wrap it up. Alright, so we've got 192 science from that mission alone. We got 124. We're going to go ahead and jump over to that. We got $1,100 from parts back. We're a little over 600, almost 650. Valentina got 2 XP, but did not rank up again. Unfortunately, that would be really cool if we got the extra or the next level for her, but unfortunately, that didn't work out. So we'll take a quick look at our science tree here. Let's unlock some parts while we're in here. So, no, we need landing, but that's to get that is 135, and I also want the fuel systems because that's going to give us the fuel duct, the basically the asparagus staging that I was referring to earlier. But I can't get both of those yet. It's 180, so this one's 90, that one's 90. It's 180 combined, plus this other 90 for these two 45s. Well, I also want the struts. But struts aren't strictly necessary in Kerbal 1. Definitely necessary in Kerbal 2, but not so much in Kerbal 1 yet. And I don't necessarily need the flight control parts, although these pieces here are pretty handy. But I'm going to do this so that I can unlock the landing gear, so that we can land on the moon. Downside is that leaves me a little bit short on getting the fuel line, but it's not the end of the world. We can go ahead and unlock. Well, but do I really want to? Yeah, because these things are going to be pretty necessary too. Maybe not straight away, but sooner rather than later. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That uses up almost all of my science. All right, good night, some guy, and yeah, I hope you catch our stream tomorrow too. We'll be playing some Empyreon tomorrow with the Hammer crew. All right, well, you heard it there, guys. I am going to wrap up here for the day. I'm sorry I was late. I'm sorry it's a little bit shorter than my usual streams. We're just a little over 2 hours at this point. So we'll come back next week, and we're going to go try to land on the moon as our first objective, our first goal. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Alright, explore the moon. Contract parameter complete. Yes. First milestones indicated first fly or initiated first fly by the moon. Escape the gravitational influence of the planet. Escape the gravitational influence of the moon. And returned home from a flyby of the moon. Also gathered our first scientific data from the moon. So it looks like we actually completed that. Explored the moon. An update on the moon here to keep us all employed for a good long while. And contract complete. Taking our first step towards exploring the moon. Let's keep going and see where it takes us. So fantastic. We don't actually need to land on the moon, I think. Let's go check our mission control real quick. Active. It is gone. It's done. So sweet. So we may actually be looking at rendezvousing 2 vessels in space. Yeah, in orbit of Kerbin, it says. So yeah, that's what we're going to try to do, I guess, next week. We might try to get this other satellite up there too. What is a Colnea orbit? I don't know. But yeah. We're gonna call it a day here. We're gonna come back and we're gonna attempt some of these other things next week. So I hope you guys join me for that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the old channel, and I hope I catch you guys back tomorrow for some more Empyreon, and back here next week for some more Kerbal. Thank you so very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I will see you next time. Bye-bye.